what was the ultimate go, no go? So you said that you wanted more time. What made that cut to say, okay, let's make this decision, we're not going? Managing an identity when you're not competing. How do you manage that mental side of the identity? Is that also a sign that we need to be talking about something else? Instead of badminton?
Yeah, no.
What was the decision process? So take me through that process. What was the first thing you did? First thing you do call Badminton Denmark? Have you seen the announcements of shot clocks coming in? One of the other questions that really popped up that got a lot of woos was, how much do badminton players make nowadays? that question.
So if there is sponsors out there who wants to throw some money at us and the podcast itself, then feel free to reach out.
Who do you think will win the World Championships?
To meet if he is playing well attackingly. Wow. Like, you don't want to meet him early in the tournament.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Average Not Average podcast. This is episode 13. I'm CK.
I'm Viktor Axelsen.
And yeah, I mean, welcome back, Victor. You look slightly different today, like orange and black, and then also like fresh new haircut.
Yeah, sort of fresh. You know, I was in Odense. I have been in Odense quite a bit here over the last few weeks. And my mom is, for those who don't know, is a hairdresser and have been cutting my hair my entire life, basically. So I was just visiting her and trying to. We only have what we have, right? We have to work with what we have. So at least we're trying, CK, I guess. Yeah, good to see you too.
And then I can see like the style going with the wax, and obviously I think you've just come off training as well, and so like for someone who's just come off like hardcore session to look this good, okay, like when you scrub up you look fine.
Thank you. Yeah. So how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I think we're in a warm spell at the moment, so struggling in the heat. So in the UK, I don't know if you know, there's no aircon, so
same like Denmark.
Yeah, same like Denmark. So I think it's an ongoing debate with my wife whether we're gonna silently install an aircon when she's working away, and then she comes back home with aircon, and then so we'll see.
That's good. Yeah, I remember one summer in Denmark when I was living here in Denmark many years ago. I bought like this big aircon where basically you have to put the big what can you say, in order to get the fresh air you need to have exhaust. It like out of the window.
Yeah, the exhaust.
Yeah. The people downstairs from me in my old apartment were smoking. Suddenly during the night or something you'll be like, oh no, they are, they just lit up another smoke, and you would just like close, very fast close the window.
Oh,
it was such a nightmare, and I was so hot.
Yeah. So we have that. It's loud, really loud. But then welcome to summer without an aircon. So I think people in Asia, you are super lucky and to have aircon. But then we'll sort something out. I'm sure we'll sort something out. I think on a side topic as well, I think I had a friend who messaged me recently to say, don't talk about the weather. UK weather isn't interesting, but we never know, right?
That's right. I don't know why we always end up talking about the weather.
Yeah. Okay. So today we are going to jump into, this is actually episode 13 already. We are going to jump into, and you've announced that you're not playing the World Championships. So we're in between episodes with the guests. And so this gives us a real opportunity for us to deep dive into, what's the rehab process. So actually, where are you now in terms of the rehab? How can you put a percentage on, like how far are you away or how close you are to 100%?
I would say that training-wise, the last 10 days has been very good. So percent-wise, it's hard to say, but I'm there where, I believe that next month I should be ready to step on court again.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking realistically at it, I would probably be able to play at the World Champs, but it wouldn't be as safe as I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
My doctors and the physio said that in order to be 100%, you can never be 100%, but they would feel much better if we had a little bit more time, simply due to the fact that I got a little bit of a setback a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that setback has just has been taking more time than what we would like.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to go through the entire process in regards to the rehab, we need a little bit more time. But I feel like I can move more freely on court. I've been doing some exercises where it's not like very locked exercises, in the sense that I know where the shuttle is coming and stuff. Now it's more free again.
More open.
Yeah, more open. So I'm very, very positive right now, to be honest. And
nice.
Yeah, and I'm motivated, which is a very good thing. So yeah, I believe that in September, I won't promise anything, but I signed up for Hong Kong Open, and also I signed up for China Masters in Shenzhen as well. So
Yeah.
we are hopefully solid for next month.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I think you've just opened up a lot of the topics that I wanted to talk about, because obviously through that rehab process, what was the go, no go criteria? So you mentioned your physio, you mentioned your doctors, you mentioned your medical team. What was the ultimate go, no go? So you said that you wanted more time. What made that cut to say, okay, let's make this decision, we're not going?
The fact that last week I weren't able to do like the open exercises and jump and, you know, put together one, last week I would have wanted to have like a very solid training week, sort of to build the base in order to be able to perform. One thing is getting ready for the World Champs. Another thing is that, to be completely honest, I don't just want to come back. I want to come back where I feel like I'm physically and mentally, ready to perform. And mentally, there has been some, personal stuff going on as well, which has been putting a lot of stress on, on everything. So, yeah, I need more time to get physically and mentally ready in order to perform. And as I just said, that I want to come back feeling strong. I don't want to come back just to play. I want to be competitive at the highest level. And yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, and then seeing your vlog that was published on your YouTube channel like earlier this week, so you mentioned that you were training in Shanghai, so you had a hit around. I mean, yeah, it felt like, whilst it was a close practice, I think for anyone who doesn't know what close practice means, it's feeding to specific areas on court where you know it's coming, and then you're just going through the shots, trying to get the quality up. It felt like, like power was there, pace was there, movement was also there, no explosive, massive jumps, but then everything's under control. Everything is under control. And it's been, what, 2-3 weeks since that video was recorded. And you feel a lot better from then on.
Much better. Like, I would say that the last 10 days has really been a big boost for me, like in terms of my confidence in my gameplay and my ability to move around. It's the first time since many months that I've been able to actually move around the court, not feeling pain.
Okay.
So that's a big win. It also makes it way more fun to play badminton again.
Yeah.
And, that's great. It's hard to come back after 6 months, 5 months being out. But I do feel like I'm very rational about my level. And I do feel like if everything goes well from here, knock on wood, I should be coming back and feeling solid and fresh and motivated. And that's the main thing, like feeling motivated about coming back, because you need to have the hunger, you need to have the willingness to dig deep. And I'm also in a place where I know it will be hard to accept that I won't be at my highest level just right out the get-go. But again, I'm willing to work hard and do everything I can in order to get back to the my highest level that I can possibly be at, and that's a very good thing.
Yeah, you touched something that I really wanted to actually explore. I had this on my notes here: managing an identity when you're not competing, because so much of your life, I mean, all throughout the last almost 20-30 years of your life, Viktor Axelsen is known as someone who's a winner, who competes on court. And then whilst you're not able to compete, how do you manage that mental side of the identities? I think, for example, from my side, I think people see me as like a badminton content creator. They tend to see me review equipment, test equipment, stuff like that. And sometimes when I'm not able to play, I feel like something's lost. Like from my side, like, how do you feel like over the last 5 months, going to 6 months now?
Yeah, I feel like obviously some very important thing in my life is missing. However, I've been feeling surprisingly good in the fact that I haven't been able to compete. But I would say that the toughest thing is that, especially when I'm here in Denmark, is that every time I meet people, or even, just random people and stuff, they're always commenting on the back. Like, how's it going with the back? How is the rehab going? Oh, that was such a shame with the World Champs. And you always get, confronted with the actual issue all the time. And you have to be, obviously, always nice about it, being like, yeah, that's a shame, but I'm doing everything I can, all this kind of stuff. But Sometimes you just want to be able to lock yourself in and focus on getting back. And then once you have done all your rehab during the day, needing to explain or to talk about it all the time, every single day, that can be mentally quite draining. And that's also sometimes the tough thing about being me or being in my position, is that every time people meet me, they naturally want to talk about badminton or
Yep.
my recent tournament and stuff like that. And
Yep.
sometimes I just want to talk about other stuff, like normal stuff. But because I am Viktor the badminton player, which I don't, that's just who I am, that's fine.
Mhm.
But naturally, it just becomes about me often and about badminton. And sometimes, actually, I just want to talk about other people and how they're doing instead of just talking about me and my badminton and right now my injuries. So I guess that's mentally the hardest thing, while also being out of the game is tough, obviously, because you're like a lion in a cage. You want to get out there. But there has also just been more time with the kids and, not so much travel. And I think like mentally and just physically, it has also been fine for me to sort of stop up a little bit. And sorry, it's a big ramble, but one thing which I feel like has been very important is that even though I can't do the training I'm usually doing, making sure that very early in the process, making sure that my routine, even though I can't do the same, that you still put out a routine, because you're used to, you have a day, right? You wake up in the morning, maybe you go play, then maybe you have some editing. You have a plan on what you have to do. The hard thing is that if you get pulled out of that routine and everything is just a mess.
Chaos.
So to set up a plan and make sure that even though you can't do the same training, you still go out the same time, you eat at the same time, you get the treatment at the same time, and then you focus on what you actually can do and what you can control, rather than focusing on, oh, I'm missing out on this and that. So that's basically what I've been trying to do.
And it's a managing process as well, isn't it? Like you're managing this process actively, like you and your team, and you're doing this day by day. I think one of the best advice that I recently had was, everything is day by day. We're always taking things day by day. And yeah, because like you said, one day you could wake up feeling super fresh, and the next day not as good. And then everybody's managing something somewhere somehow. Is that also a sign that we need to be talking about something else instead of badminton?
Yeah, no, that's fine. This is about badminton, but I was just talking about I love to talk about badminton. It's just like when you're out shopping or when you're out with the kids or meeting somebody you haven't seen for a long time, always talking about the back right now, or not
It's
being able to
difficult.
go to the World Champs. That can be draining. Like same like going to Asia and get commented on the height for the 20th time on the day.
In one single day.
I was talking about a friend today, and I think the sentence that I've heard the most in Asia is that, "Can I take a picture with you?" And, "Oh, you're very tall." That's, they want to get a picture, and they get to the side of me, and then they say, "Oh, you're very tall." And if we had a dime every time we've heard that, CK, we would be very rich.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
No, but once again, it's a part of it, and I love it. I love how sweet people are. But that's just when you're injured and you're sort of trying to get back.
Yeah.
Having
People
to
nice.
explain the issue all the time can sometimes be a bit hard when you're trying to work through it internally.
Yeah, and I think this is why the mental side is something that we cannot see, but sometimes we can feel it. But for me, I'm in a very privileged position because I get to see you fairly regularly. I get to see, and I get to speak to you. I get to talk to you. I get to see the other side of Viktor that not many people get to see. Like, say, if you're a regular badminton fan that you watch a lot of badminton. Speaking about badminton, did you know that BWF's YouTube channel went down for about a week?
Yeah, I
6
saw
days?
that. What happened? Was it hacked?
Yeah, so they were hacked. So their account got compromised, and then I think we saw that there was they were streaming like crypto live streams for like an hour, and then I think Google safely took it down. But then because of how big their account was, I think surely they have an account manager, and then they've managed to reset everything, and it came back online, I believe, this Tuesday or this Wednesday morning.
They were hacked by crypto bros.
Yeah, crypto bros. And so, but nothing was lost apparently. So nothing was lost. And so I think they're still in the process of actually resetting everything back up.
Okay.
Because when I first saw it on the Tuesday, Wednesday morning, I think they only had like 20,000 videos. I was like, oh, like 1,500 videos missing, but then I saw that more stuff was going up later in the day, so I think it's still part of the process.
That must have
Yeah.
been a bit scary. There was
Yeah,
probably account manager who was sweating a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure. Speaking about accounts being hacked, I think we also had a little episode with you earlier this week, right? Like
yeah, but I found out it was Vega who has been I was
DMing people.
When you text me, I was so afraid that I was hacked, but I couldn't understand it because I have like the all the codes, and you can't really. You need to, what is it called, the authenticator stuff,
yeah, two-factor authenticator.
All that kind of thing is set up on all my accounts. So I was very surprised. So I couldn't understand why this. It was only to one account though, and luckily this guy is a very good guy, and no issues whatsoever.
Okay, I think so. For backstory for the people that's actually listening, so there was an account that had a few messages from Victor's personal DM on Instagram, and then he was like, okay, maybe Victor's account was hacked, and then so the person contacted me to say, hey, can you reach out to Victor just to make sure everything's okay? And then we did, and then initially, Victor, you thought your account was hacked because it was a random string of words and letters, and I think there was a phone number at some point. And then turns out it was Vega.
Yeah.
Panic over it.
All good. But note to self, should probably put it in fly mode when they're with the phone.
Yeah. Yep. Or what's it called? That's a child lock or something, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Side question: do the kids have their own phones yet?
No. They don't have their own phones. We have we have iPads with for the long flights and stuff. But I don't want to say we're religious about how long time they can, but luckily they're not like super glued to the iPads. But on long flights or long drives and stuff, it's good sometimes to put it, that they can play with it a little bit.
Self-entertain for a little bit.
Yeah, but they don't have their own phones.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. True. Okay, so let's go back to the badminton a little bit more. What was the decision process? So take me through that process. So this is deep dive as well. Take me through that process when you've made a decision with the doctors and with the physios to say, okay, we're not playing. What was the first thing you did? First thing you do, call Badminton Denmark? What was that process?
First thing I did, which I always do, is to notify my closest partners, like Yonex, HSBC, Helm, Monitor, all my partners that I'm
unable to play.
Able to play.
Is there a financial repercussion?
No, in terms of partnerships, you have usually a clause in your contract where you can be out of the game for X amount of time. In some of the partnerships, it doesn't really. It's more like appearances, which I can still fulfill. So that's not an issue. But obviously, in terms of the Yonex contract and stuff like that, there is something where if you're out for more than 12 months, etc., and also my ranking will undeniable be dropped. Yep. Like after my protected ranking is over, so there might be something there, but I'm not thinking too much about it. Like all my partners are super supportive, and basically there is not really anything I can do. It is what it is. I'm out, right? And I have to, if I want to play for more years, which we all want, then I have to take my precautions. So I have the best partners, literally. So everybody is super supportive. But I always tell them before I make the announcement, and then basically I just send the withdrawal to Badminton Denmark, who sends it to BWF, and then I make usually the announcement on my social media.
Okay. And how long is that process? So from you telling your partner, is that like a partner's as in like straight email, or like you have all their messages?
Yeah,
WhatsApp messages or
email, WhatsApp. Yeah, email or WhatsApp, whatever, how we usually communicate. And
then, perfect.
That's how it works.
And then what's the lag time? So for example, you first tell your partners to you posting on social media. Is it like 36 hours or?
Yeah, something like that. 36 hours to 24 hours,
Wow.
Maybe they know already that, this might be pushing it, that I try, but it's not 100% that I'll make it. And that's usually how it works.
Okay. And with Badminton Denmark as well, is there just an email to the competing team, like the tournament team?
Yeah, I will usually either call, I talk well with Thomas, the national coach, or the, chief of sports or something like that. And then they will send the withdrawal. Everything has to go through the federation, also the withdrawals.
Yeah. Was it a difficult phone call for you to make to Thomas?
No, not really, because we are in contact and he
Mm.
knows my situation and all this kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it wasn't very. It was. I know it was pushing it a little bit,
Mm.
but also I wanted to do everything I could in order to get ready.
Yep.
And
100%.
yeah, so it was hard, but not really hard.
Okay. And then and there's no fines for
No.
World Championships.
No fines.
Okay. And
There's no fines when you're on the protected ranking in terms of
Withdrawal.
you're showing up. So
Okay. Yeah, because I think today, at the time of recording, 12th of August, today is the cutoff period for withdrawing from the World Championships, I believe. Yeah. And so I think anyone who's not able to play or for whatever reason needs to withdraw, if you withdraw today, generally it's okay. Speaking about World Championships, have you seen the announcement?
When are you going, CK?
I'm going next Friday. Yeah, so and I'll be there until the 31st, until the Sunday. So I'm going to be there for like almost 10 days.
Nice.
Yeah, almost 10 days. But I think a lot of it will be work, but it will also be very, very good to be able to see a lot of people. I've never been to the Adidas Arena before, obviously. I wasn't there for the Olympics last year, and so it'll be my first time actually seeing the arena.
Are you going to work with the brands or with BWF or a combination or
all three? So
very good.
I think
business is booming.
I think one way, yes, one way. That's literally one way to say it. Yes, yes. And I think actually, I mean, I don't know if I can actually announce this.
It's okay. You don't say if you cannot.
Yeah, because I think Yonex will have something interesting set up, and so yeah, I will actually be able to see them as well a little bit, which is very, very cool. I think for BWF as well, so there'll be some interesting things coming up, and then on the personal side, we are also our whole team, almost our whole team is there. Within our internal team, our day-to-day team is also there. We're also doing quite a fairly big shoot as well on site. So
very cool.
Yeah, super interesting. Lots of interesting projects going on. And then hopefully we can actually progress a little bit more after seeing a few more people. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah. But you're not going to be in Paris at all?
No, unfortunately not. I will get back to Dubai and I will focus on my rehab.
Okay. And then like you said, hopefully Hong Kong and then China Masters and then so on continuing the year. Okay. Perfect. And then okay, so I had on my list, are there fines? Okay, there's no fines. Any sponsorship challenges? There's clearly no sponsorship challenges at this point in time. Outside of World Championships, are you aware of any like athletes or any contracts that stipulates, say, if you play less than, say, I don't know, a set amount of tournaments a year, then like your contract, your pay, whatever, gets cut in half or something?
If you're not injured or sick, there could be, in the contracts, maybe potentially the brands would like them for the tournaments which are big for them. Like if they sponsor the events, they would need you to play these events. It might be that also maybe they want you to play a smaller event. Then basically there could be something there. But besides that, it's usually if you're sick or injured, then the brands will usually accept that. But if you choose just not to play, then there might be something there.
Okay. And then in terms of return to play protocols, I think for anyone that's listening, return to play, I think it's a term where they use it in the sports medical side of things, where it's an assessment in some way where you go through a systematic check. Maybe your doctors, maybe your physio, maybe your medical team that takes you through that process. Do you have one yourself currently?
Like, you mean in terms of me getting back to court playing? I have physios and I have doctors who I talk with and who I've been working with for some time and who have been a part of and especially my strength and conditioning coach as well. We will have some sort of...
Who's the final decision maker?
It's like basically it's a joint decision about, we have a WhatsApp group and stuff like that, and we communicate there, and Viktor was able to do this, and this, and then we'll make a decision once we get closer to September that if I have been able to, my pain has been 1 out of 10 or 0 out of 10 for this amount of time, and I've been able to complete this kind of training, then we know that we're ready to go. So that's basically how it's gonna work. That we take one day at a time. We make sure that pain stays low for for a long period of time, or the period of time we're confident that if I go to tournament, we can complete, and then we take a decision.
Yep. And then, so it's a very professional process in that sense, whilst as professional as it can be. And then ultimately comes down to how you feel.
Yeah. And you never know what happens in tournament, right? But at some point you have to basically say, okay, now we do it. If you have been feeling well for several weeks, then we go ahead. And, then it might be that you come back and you play one tournament, it goes well, and you are completely smoked in the body and the back, and then you might have to skip the next, and that's just how it is. Like, probably it's not going to be a scenario where I can play 2 consecutive weeks for the entire week.
Yeah.
So you have to be very adaptive, especially in the start, I think. And every single day, if you feel like there is something where it doesn't feel like just like muscle ache, it feels like it could potentially develop into something more, serious, then at this period in time, you have to be pretty cool in regards to the decisions you're making.
Flexible. I think.
Yeah.
I think like we said earlier on, day to day, take it day by day. As we go along. Speaking about World Championships, this has popped in. Have you seen the announcements of shot clocks coming in?
Yeah, I saw that. What do you think?
25 seconds. Oh, I love it. I actually cannot wait for it to come, be trialed properly and actually see it on court for the first time, because so many other sports do it, and I think it's a good thing, because you then draw a fence around what you can and cannot do. Like, the rules are rules. I think previously there was a lot of argument about can a doctor come on and apply cold spray or whatever. Now, within that 25 seconds, you can spray for however long you want.
Yeah.
The players can do it themselves.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is that how are the umpires gonna, how are they gonna make the decision about when do you actually, when do you need to actually take care of the court, and when is it not serious enough, and when do you stop the clock, and when do you just let it run, and how consistent is that decision?
Yeah,
I think it's the same with the service. I was talking with the Danish media about it as well. Like, how consistent is it in terms of the different umpires and how they're going to navigate that and stuff? So I hope they get, it's a practice for them as well. It's a new thing for them as 100%. Well. So
the
umpires really need to also, get the support needed in order to fulfill the, the regulations and all the kind of stuff, and make sure that it's pretty stable in terms of the shuttlecock being on and off.
Yeah, I think it's. I think I'm aware. I'm certainly aware that a lot of the umpires, or every single one of the umpires, regardless at what level they are at, is required to officiate a certain number of matches every year to even just retain their level of what do we call it? Umpireship. So, because there's so many grades, right? And the highest one is the BWF 1, where you see on the World Tour level. I believe, is it something like they have to officiate a minimum of like 60 matches a year or something like that, just to maintain that. Because I think in my previous conversation with the youngest BWF certified umpire, Dr. David Evans, from Wales. Yeah, so he is currently the youngest one. I believe he mentioned 60 matches a year, which is a lot, actually, if you think about it. So they need to be at quite a few tournaments each year, and then just to make sure that they're topped up. And I think they have to also attend training, assessment all the time, just to make sure that they are topped up. But I think it's interesting to see and hear and feel how they need to manage this scenario, because I think as much as it's a learning process for the players, such as you, it's also a learning process for them, and also
that's what
for
I mean.
us, the
like,
crowd.
It's going to be a new change, and they just have to make sure that it's going to be, that the matches, even though every match is different, that it's not something where in one match the shuttlecock gets paused for X amount of time in different scenarios, and then in the other match, it's the same scenario, but it doesn't get, there's just a few things where you need to find the, the right level,
the right balance. Yep.
And the balance, but it's probably, I love it as well. Personally, I'm a big advocate for the shuttlecock.
I think it's a good thing, 100%. It could be. Yeah, I don't know, because I think currently the rule says, I think umpires are allowed to stop the matches when the court needs to be attended to and stuff like that. I think we'll see, and then we can react to it. But I'm certainly a fan of the shot clock.
Me too.
25 seconds.
It's going to be
Have
great.
you trialed it in training yet? Like,
No.
show drops?
No.
Okay.
But I usually try to start the rallies pretty quick. So
you're the one that's always aggressive. Like, I want to start the rally. I want to start a rally.
Yeah. So I think it's fine. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to go.
Yeah. And then the 3x15. So obviously that's been trialed at slightly lower levels. Have you spoken to any players that has played an official match at 3x15?
No, not at all. Like, how long has the matches been?
So shorter. I would say, like, I think the matches that I really kind of watched a little bit more was kind of like FISU. So I follow the World University Games a little bit more. Those 3x15s. The matches were short. Like, some matches could finish within 20, 25 minutes. Some of the longer ones, like 35 minutes. 40 was kind of like tops in that sense. But I think matches at World Tour level, Super 1000, 750 levels, probably might be a bit longer. But it's, I would say, normally about 25% shorter, 20 to 25% shorter in terms of time.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. For sure.
Okay. Yeah. Also, before we even go on to our continuing topic, Viktor Axelsen VA range.
Yeah.
It's coming out end of September.
Yes.
What can we expect? Do you know if everything is out already and then they're just ready to go, waiting for embargoes to come off, and then
everything should be ready to go? There might be, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or no, but there might be some items which will come a little bit later than others, but the whole line should be ready to go. The rackets, everything, the clothing line, the green, the drop one, the lime green, the gray, all ready to go. And I'm just so excited to see it in the store. It has been a long waiting time for me also. So it's going to be super nice, and hopefully people will be supportive. And
there's a little surprise, right? There's a little surprise with the rackets. I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a little surprise. There's a little surprise. Yeah, there's a little surprise.
So it's gonna be very cool, and I think that on the social media there's a lot of people sharing it from there was a big conference in China also where there have been some pictures and stuff. So yeah, I think I get a lot of messages also, where can we buy, can we pre-order? And I think just going to your local Yonex shop, like wherever you usually buy Yonex stuff, they should have it by the end of September. And yeah, it's going to be very cool. Please, if you see it around, just, tag me on social media, and I will try to repost and comment on the different posts. And yeah, it would be great. It's a dream coming true to have your own line. So it's going to be very cool to see it on players all around the world.
True. And then you have the almost, I would say, quite a cult racket series, the 100ZZ. I think I believe that's the only top-end model that doesn't have the 4 tiers. So normally it's like you have the Pro Tour gameplay rackets. The 100 series doesn't have the play models. So it's only the Pro Tour and game. And so I think it's a cult light racket. And then so, yeah, it's super interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to see the different colors.
Yeah. So I mean, for me personally, I've been playing and testing a little bit already, quite a while, and yeah, it's nice. Like the look grows on you as the more you look at it.
I would say the same thing. Yeah, for sure.
The look grows on you. So yeah, no, I think any of all the people that I've showed it to, I think they all really liked it. The feedback was actually pretty awesome.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, yesterday I was invited to a junior camp, junior county camp, Yorkshire Badminton county camp, and then I brought it to say, hey, like, working with Yonex, working with Viktor, like I get access to a little bit of testing like this, and the kids absolutely loved it. I also brought 2 of your posters. I gave them to the coaches as gift to give out to best players for the whole week, because yesterday was Monday. I think the camp is for the whole week. So they were like, oh my god, they were just, oh my god, Viktor signed this.
Amazing. I'm happy to hear that. It's great. I'm very happy to hear how many badminton events and tournaments there is going on in the UK as well, and just around the world. Like being in China now here, and also in Japan, you can just feel like the sport is being loved by so many children around the world as well, and it's great to see.
Yep. I had one question yesterday from the kids. They were like, how can we better grow badminton? And I said to them, it's like, one of the best things would be to tell your friends about it. Show your friends how cool badminton is. Because, for example, they were like, how many of your friends know you play badminton? A lot of them just go shaking their head. I was like, well, you probably need to show them that how cool badminton is. Like, so bring them to the All England, bring them to any professional World Tour tournaments, and you watch their mind get blown the first time they see elite athletes like you play.
Yeah, I think it's a great tip. Take them to the badminton hall, play with them a little bit, go to a professional tournament, watch a little bit of YouTube to see some of the coolest rallies. And people, they often get surprised how fast a sport it is and how cool it is to watch live and how hard it is to play yourself.
Yep.
And yeah, that's, just tell people about it, as you say, bring them to the badminton hall and watch on YouTube, introduce them to the sport. I think, that's the best way to do it.
100%. I think one of the other questions that really popped up that got a lot of woos was how much do badminton players make nowadays? that question.
I think it's very individual how much people make. I would say that I can't really, I don't know why we can't do that, but you can't really put a number on it for some reason, like it's confidential, but
it's a very wide scale.
Yeah, you make, if you're on the top of the rankings and you have won the biggest tournaments, you make enough to make a good living and put money to the side to invest and build your own team and stuff like that. I've been very fortunate also with because of my team, my dad, and everybody working so hard and me being able to perform at the highest to make a very good living and invest so that I can live off my earnings from badminton after my career as well. So that's not to say that I not want to work, but that's also very nice that for the sport itself, that players can make enough money in order to put aside and take care of the family and stuff like that. And that's amazing to be a part of that, change in the sport.
Yeah. And I think in 2025, there's a lot of opportunities as well, because I also said that, look, whilst everyone here is training to become a really, really good player, excellent player, you're still all very, very young. But if you cannot make it as a player, there's a lot of jobs around the sport. For example, i.e. me, you can still make it not being an elite player. And there's a lot of other roles.
So many opportunities. And you can also just play leagues. There's several players who are just making a decent living playing leagues around the world. The Polish league, the Czech league, the Swiss league, the Swedish league, the Danish league. You can play as many leagues as you want and make a decent living.
100%.
There is quite a bit of opportunities within the sport. You're totally right. If not playing, then as you say, you're a great example of how you can make a good business.
Yeah. And then, and while it's promoting the sport, and the sport should and could only get bigger and bigger as we go along, as more reinvestments go in. But then, like one of the main things I said, show your friends like how cool badminton is, like challenge them or get them to challenge you, and then see you beat them very, 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 very easily.
But we also have to be honest and say that it's not making a podcast which will make you crazy rich.
Oh no! Well, unless you get to Joe Rogan level.
Yeah. Not yet, I guess.
Not yet. Well, again, because they do it for maybe like around 10 years.
So if there's sponsors out there who wants to throw some money at us and the podcast itself, then feel free to reach out.
Yeah, always. We always welcome all kinds of inquiries. No question is too big. No question is too small. We're getting there. But actually, in terms of feedback from the podcast, so I get a lot of messages. I'm sure you do as well. But reading the comments, we're getting a really wide range of audience listening in as well. I think some people prefer having a guest on. Other comments tell me we just love hearing you and Viktor talking personally, like just the two of you. So I think it's a good combination in terms of
probably have a combination of guests sometime and then a podcast like this where we just talk about everything and nothing, right?
Depth.
I think
yeah.
And then by time people will probably be like, it will be some a part of their, when we drop a new episode, they will just listen in and it's good. Like I have a good time and I hope you do as well.
Yeah, no, same. Like from my side, yes, I think what kind of sealed the deal was the first kid that saw me yesterday. He just shouted, "Oh my God, I watch your podcast and you're here."
Great. That's amazing.
I was just walking through the car park coming into the school, and he goes, and he just froze. He just froze, completely froze. And then, so I'm going to call him out, James. And then, so, really, really good to see you yesterday. And then, super, super excited that you're excited about the stuff that Victor and we both do. And we love badminton. So hence we're talking about it all the time.
Yeah. But for me, I just jump on the call. It's you and the team who make, all the work. So thank you for that. And it's important that people know that it's you who are, lifting the heavy work. I just talk, so it's easy for me to sit here. No,
I think it's 100% a team effort as well. Like, you have a very, very tight schedule. We really appreciate the amount of time that you give, and also like the promotion as well. Like, I think, like you said, everyone needs to be doing their own bit. Like, for example, like Christian, our last guest, he also reshares a lot of our content. He also accepts collaborations and stuff like that. So it's 100% a team effort, and everyone's doing their best to help us grow this sport as well. One more question actually is, what is the best angle, from your opinion, in terms of to watch badminton online?
It's funny because there is some times on YouTube where you see the angle is more like down and very close to the ground. I think that's pretty cool, and also to get from the side as well, from the back court, like sort of coming into from the
corner.
Yeah, but I do appreciate just like the straight on from the court, a little bit up and down, maybe a bit closer to the court. So you still can see when there's the lift and stuff like that, but I do prefer a combination of just the basic one, a bit closer to the court, and then sometimes shifting to the closer, slow-mos and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I think the court side, so like looking in from the umpire or the service judge side, I think that has its own merits. But I think my personal little favorite is almost at the coach's corner, but then at the service judge side. Yeah, like that one, diagonally in. I really like it when it's like eye level height. Yep, eye level height, or maybe just a little bit taller, because I think one thing that we missed with the top down shot is we cannot see your lift heights.
No, that's right.
We cannot see the height.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and we also cannot appreciate the angles that you guys are hitting. So if we're from the coach's corner, that side of things, and then you can actually see how flat and how accurate you guys, like when you play with the pushes, and how early you take the shuttle. From the top-down cam, you cannot see that.
No. Do you film your own practices and your own matches?
All the time. Like I film mine, and I look at it and I get sad because the difference in speed compared to you guys, the sound is different as well.
Yeah, no, but it's nice.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, I use this the DJI Pocket 3, which is what we're filming on, because it has this tracking thing, and so it happily tracks the movement. And then so far, it feels quite dynamic. It feels okay. So I use that in a lot of my racket reviews, and I put it in my videos.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, do you have any questions for me? Because I think we can actually finish a little bit early. Next 5 minutes.
Just, are you going to Hong Kong and Shenzhen for the 2 tournaments in September?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think the last time I was in Shenzhen was the King's Cup, which was incredibly cool. But Shenzhen was mind blowing. Like, it was really, it's a really cool city. Like, for someone who hasn't been, it's poor.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. But I guess, today was a good, just a loose talk about everything, and also about the World Champs, just a random chit chat. And then the next episode we can go more in depth. Probably, will be before the World Champs, but we probably have more information to share and talk about there. So let's just cut it short today.
Yep. One last one. Who do you think will win the World Championships? You can be completely biased or not biased now that you're not playing.
I think Xiu Qi is probably the favorite, I would say. I also think that, the outsiders, you never know about Kunlavut. Anders is also there, who has been performing quite well in the Super Thousands. But
Zija is coming back. What do you think?
Sorry?
Zija? I think he's making his comeback tournament.
Yeah, he's coming back. I would say it's a hard tournament to come back and just like firing all cylinders. I don't know about his current level, so it's very hard to make a guess. But he's not a fun opponent to meet if he is playing well attackingly. Like, you don't want to meet him early in the tournament because if his smashes are accurate and he has a good timing, then it's going to be not a fun match, and you also feel some pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Because with his playstyle, you usually don't have like a very good rhythm. It's usually, if he is in the mood of attacking, it's sometimes you have to adapt pretty quick, and if you haven't been able to play against it for some time, then it can be hard if he's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, I still have Xu Qi as the favorite, and but
Anders and Kunlavud,
Anders,
very, very close second.
these guys.
Yeah.
You saw Kunlavud last time in this arena, at the Olympics against Xu Qi. He basically, Xu Qi, he didn't have a chance really. Let's see what happens. Also, there's the pressure of the World Championships. It's not the same as the Olympics, but, we see what happens.
True. What about the ladies? Women's singles?
It depends on how injured An Se-young is. Like, if she's not injured and she can move freely, she's obviously the big favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, Chen Yufei.
Chen Yufei also looks good. Wang Zi also looks very, very good at the moment.
Yeah, so it would be either An Se-young or one of the Chinese top women's singles, I would say.
Men's doubles?
Very hard to say, I think. I think the men's doubles, it can be either or. It really, really depends also on the shuttles. Is it slow shuttles, fast shuttles?
It's the same F90 used at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Or it should be. It should be.
Yeah, we see. I think we will see a bit longer rallies, like we did at the Olympics.
Big haul.
Yeah. So it has been different from the last tournaments that has been going on. So I think we will see who, the Chinese men's doubles as well, even though it has been a little bit up and down. Let's see what happens. China is always good in the major championships.
Always.
So, yeah, I still have China as, big favorites in most of the categories. Same in the mixed.
Yeah, I think mixed.
And the women's doubles.
Mixed. Yeah, women's doubles.
Japan, obviously, also, but we see.
Yeah, Nami and Chiharu. Yeah, and I mean Nami and Chiharu will be their last tournament together, unless they play you at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any outsiders or any thoughts about like who's gonna win the titles at the World Champs?
Yeah, so I think I've done like a little favorites list. I think on a BWF TikTok. I think so for me, Xu Qi, Kunlavud, Anders, 100% was on that list. Yourself and Zijia was dark horses outside, because I mean, for example, if it was anyone who could come back and win in that arena, it was probably you. But then you're not playing nowadays, so unfortunately you're out of that picture. So the four is left. An Se-young is 100% a shoe-in favorite. Wang Zi probably a very close second. Chen Yufei on her day is like unbeatable in that sense. And so I think it all depends on the seeding a little bit, stuff like that. Men's doubles, it's incredibly open. Anyone in the top 8 can win on their day.
Yeah, it's very, very hard. Very hard.
51-49. Yeah. Malaysia have 3 pairs in the top 10, which is rare. 3 pairs in the top 10 is incredibly rare. And then I think in Indonesia, like you said, always you cannot discount them. Liang Wenken Wang Chang clearly is very, very good, and Kim and Anders as well. Kim and Anders, you
never know about Kim and Anders as well.
They bring it. Like I call it, they have the special sauce and they bring it. And so they're always a dangerous pair.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, women's doubles a bit more. Yeah, women's doubles is a bit more. I think more straightforward. You have the few powerhouses. You have Lee So-hee, Pek Hana. You have your Nami. You have your Chiharu, and you have your the Chinese pairs as well. Like so I think that's more fixed. Mixed doubles, I think Feng Yinze, Huang Dongping, and what's it called? The other pair, they tend to mix it up recently, and they still come out fairly on top.
Yeah.
I think them two are the ones to beat. But if them two don't win it, everyone else has a 50-50 chance in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Let's see. Great.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is it for this episode. Slightly shorter one than usual, but our next episode we're aiming to have a guest come back on, and so we always try and fit in with everybody's schedule. As usual, if you have any comments, if you're listening, if you're watching, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us your comments, tell us what you want to know, and we'll always try and get that in.
That sounds very good, CK. Thank you so much for a good talk. And
Perfect.
thank you to everybody for listening in. We really do appreciate every single one of you. So thank you for that.
Same. Thank you so much. And yeah, we will see you very, very soon.
See you.
Zija is coming back. What do you think?
Yeah, he's coming back. I would say it's a hard tournament to come back and just like firing all cylinders. I don't know about his current level, so it's very hard to make a guess. But he's not a fun opponent to meet if he is playing well attackingly.
Wow.
Like, you don't want to meet him early in the tournament, because if his smashes are accurate and he has a good timing, then it's going to be not a fun match, and you also feel some pressure.